What's up, Facebook family and friends? It's Nisan Trotter with you, of course, and I just love getting on video with you live to talk about the things on my heart and the passions that I have to help you move forward. And I want to be consistent with these videos because I've been getting a lot of great feedback, and the more I do it, the better I become at it, but also the more I help you. So as is customary, if you would just want to let me know where you are, where you're from, who's joining me, I'll give you a quick shout out before we begin. And for those of you who have been enjoying the Olympics, especially on last night when watching the world-renowned Michael Phelps do his thing in the swimming pool, then you're going to absolutely love why you are no different than Michael Phelps. That's right. You heard it from me first. You are no different than easily the most widely decorated Olympian in history, Michael Phelps. And I'm going to prove to you why in this one video. So whenever something resonates with you, I would love to hear your feedback. You can always put your comments in the comment section. And also, I would want you to subscribe to my Facebook Live videos. I try to get on here about one to three times per week. You'll get notified every time I'm online. And then also share this video with somebody, especially upon it being done, because I believe that we can spread the wealth of self-development, personal development, and all of that good stuff. One of the number one reasons why you are no different than Michael Phelps, hear me closely, is because you have a series of victories as well. You have sets of wins that you just have to keep track of. This is why you are no different than the Olympian. And I just want you to start to take notice of your wins. You've won because you've gotten over terrible situations that probably should have been your demise. Some of you, you've won because you've lost a significant other in your life due to death, some unforeseen accident, but you're still plugging away with a smile. Some of you, you're a winner because you are raising children to the best of your ability as a single parent. You have a set of victories already. Some of you, you are winners because you did not compromise your integrity even behind closed doors when given the opportunity to cheat. And that's your win. That's your victory. Some of you, you're winners just like Michael Phelps, and you have series of wins time after time again because you took the high road instead of the low road. When someone spoke ill of you in your regard, you did not return the favor. You just kept your head held high, and you moved forward, and you just let your works speak for you. And I just came to bear notice with you on today that you are no different than Michael Phelps. Yes, you deserve a gold medal around your neck as well, because you kept things together when life seemed to have fallen apart. And I'm talking to a set of individuals right now. When you hear some of the issues that other people go through, and you're listening to them and wondering why they are getting ready to jump off a bridge, because some of the stuff that you've been through, that you've won and triumphed against, if you were to share your stories with them, they would be taken aback, because they're crying over a flat tire, they're crying over a red Kool-Aid spill on plush carpet, and you have a whole different set of experience that if they were to walk just one day in your shoes, they would be throwing a parade in your very own name, because you have a set of wins due to the experiences that you've been through in life. And this is why you are no different than Michael Phelps. Here's another reason why you are no different than Michael Phelps. If you notice on that race last night, Michael Phelps and his competitors, they got on the blocks and they were getting ready to jump into the pool and swim very fast. But then they had to restart. They had to get back down off of the block and start over again. And for some of you, the reason why you are absolutely just like Michael Phelps in that one moment is because you had to start after a restart. And you got to thank God even right now for the redos and the refreshes in your life. You got to be able to know that just because you've been given a second chance to start over, this is why you're going to win. I want you to imagine for me for a second, what would have happened if that restart would not have taken place? Maybe, just maybe, Michael Phelps would not have won. He got off to a great start after his restart. And listen to me closely. I love the words of Zig Ziglar. He said that you don't have to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. So what I want you to do is to begin to get off of your block. The block is hot right now, and it's time for you to start all over again with your second chance, with your redo. And this is what I love about God and the favor of God. He's not only the God of the first chance, but not only the God of the second chance, but the third chance, fourth chance, fifth chance. I'm talking to a set of individuals who've made mistakes time after time again. Or you even said this, I'm going to start tomorrow. And then when tomorrow came, you said, I'm going to start tomorrow. And then when tomorrow came, you said, I'm going to start tomorrow. But you ought to be thankful right now that when you were really for real about it, you were allowed to restart. And this time when you started, you got off the blocks fast like Michael Phelps. And this is why Michael Phelps is no different than you. Another reason why Michael Phelps is no different than you, and you can relate to him, is because you don't lose your focus over shadows. I want you to pay close attention to this. You don't lose your focus over shadows. There was a South African by the name of Chad something or another. And if you notice, prior to his race, what he was doing is he was shadow boxing in the face of Michael Phelps. And if you know anything about shadow boxing, you know that that's not the real deal. And there are some shadows, some obstacles in your life that you've been able to overcome because you knew that it was a fake and it was a fraud. All shadows are meant to do in this particular instance is take you away from your focus. And if you know anything about Michael Phelps and his routine, there's a book by the name of The Power of Habits that the author Charles Duhigg wrote. And he talks about the routine of Michael Phelps prior to his races, and that from start to finish, he visualizes everything. And he does the same thing over and over again, even when he manufactures his wins in his mind. And so he's developed the mental toughness to go through his routines. And many swimmers know this, and this does not come as any surprise to them. In fact, they probably do the same thing. But even in The Power of Habits, as they talked about Michael Phelps' routine and how he went through his same set of songs, how he visualizes the strokes, how he visualizes exactly what he's going to do when he gets on the starting block. Many swimmers know this. And so the South African, as he was shadow boxing in front of Michael Phelps, what essentially he was trying to do is break his routine, is to try to shift his focus. And I want to let you know that there are shadows in your own life, and the reason why you're no different is because you know what's real from fake. And you have a level of focus about you in this season of your life, in this time period of your life, to not allow shadows to take you down. They're not the real deal. They're fake. They're fraud. But this is what I do want you to do. I want you to steal a chapter out of Michael Phelps' book, because you're no different. I want you to start to set up a routine to win. And I want you to start to think about and visualize your days on a daily basis. And think about exactly what you need to do to accomplish your goals, your dreams, and ambitions. And before you actually start living in that reality, I want you to live in it in your mind first. And manufacture ways by which you can raise your children in the right way. Visualize these things. Visualize how it's going to feel when you walk through the doors of your brand new home. Because you've gotten yourself out of debt and you connected with the right mortgage lender who's not going to cheat you but has your best interest in mind. I want you to think about and visualize what it's going to look like when you get the promotion on the job. You're going to know exactly how to manage people, thankfully, because of bad managers that you had. You're going to never treat them the way that your bad managers treated you. Visualize these things. And when you have a level of focus, you won't go chasing shadows because you know that they're not the real deal, and that you have tunnel vision in this time period of your life to stay focused and be no different than Michael Phelps. Here's another reason why you're no different than one of the most decorated athlete in Olympian history. Another reason why you're no different is because you have a level of buoyancy about you. Life has its ebbs and flows, its ups and downs. And Michael Phelps, last night, in one particular event where he won the gold medal, he did the butterfly. And that's one particular event. I'm not all that familiar with swimming, but I do know at least this, that in the butterfly stroke, the 200-meter butterfly stroke, you go up and you go down. You go up and you go down. Perhaps that's the only swimming event, excuse me for my ignorance, other than maybe diving, where you go down and you go up. All right, and in this particular moment, you know that there were times where you almost drowned, where you almost hit rock bottom. But because you have a buoyancy about your life, you've been able to get back up time and time again. And this is what identifies you. The fact that you're able to get up again and again and again after having been knocked down, after having been ridiculed, after having been slain and torn, you have a buoyancy about you. You continue to rise to the occasion and resurface when people thought that you were buried, that you were history, and that you were dead and gone. You have a buoyancy about you. You're able to get back up and continue to know that regardless of whether I'm up or whether I'm down, because I've been here before, I know the most important thing in this season of my life is to put one foot in front of the other, and hear me closely here, keep moving forward. Because regardless of you going down and up in life, your ability to keep moving forward makes you no different than the Olympian Michael Phelps. Here's another reason why you're no different than Michael Phelps. Is because you have the awesome ability to win the wall. I'm going to repeat that. And no, I'm not an Olympic athlete swimmer, but I am black, and yes, I do swim. And here it is. I know the power in being able to bounce off of that wall. Some of you, the reason why you've been decorated and you've been admonished by others is because when you were faced up against tumultuous odds and getting ready to hit a wall, you had enough sense and enough discernment to turn around and do a 180 and go in the opposite direction. It is foolish for a person, according to Albert Einstein, to continue to do the same thing expecting different results. That's a level of insanity that nobody should succumb to. And so there are some people, pun intended, who keep hitting their head up against a wall. They keep trying to go in the same direction when they were supposed to flip it around, press off the wall, and go the opposite way. You ought to be thankful that you at least have enough cognitive sense to know when you should turn around, to know what things are for you versus what things aren't, to know when you should do the 180 and head in the opposite direction. You've won the wall. Michael Phelps had an advantage in that race because he knew not only when to turn around, but how to turn around, how to press off of that wall and gain an advantage over his competitors. Here's another reason why you are no different than Michael Phelps, and why I'm sweating right now because I'm so excited about what I'm delivering to you right now. Another reason why you're no different than Michael Phelps, hear me closely, is because you know how to stay in your lane. Yes, you know how to stay in your lane and stay focused. There's an awesome picture of the South African in the lane beside Michael Phelps, who was looking at Michael Phelps almost close to the finish as Phelps was dead set on the finish line. And it shows his butterfly stroke, his triceps being extended and being engaged, and him really using his back muscles, engaging those to push forward. And he stayed in his lane while staying focused. You do know this at least. If you go in the opposite lane whenever competing, whether it's track or whether it's swimming, then you are immediately disqualified. Why? Because you've been given a set amount of space to stick to. And what unfortunately some people are doing that is causing their failure is they're going into opposite lanes. Yes, they're going into lanes that were never meant for them. Have you ever done this? I'm sure all of us have, because I certainly know that when I travel, if I see a lane that's moving faster than the lane that I'm in, I'll immediately get over quickly. only to see that the lane that I was in now is starting to pass me up. You can press like 1,000 times if you know that that's you. You switched over, and because you switched over, now you find other people passing you up. You're ducking and diving traffic and you think that you're making progress, but because you did not stay in your lane, now you're being left behind. But what I want you to do in this one season is figure out what's for you. Because what is for you, nothing can be taken away from you. The gifts, the certain set of gifts that you have and talents and abilities that you have. I'm talking to a group of people right now. Some of you have an awesome ability to be patient with people who would drive others crazy. And that's your lane. Some of you, you have the ability to speak and to encourage, and that's your lane. Some of you, you have the ability to continue to love your children in a special way like none other, and that's your lane. I want you to stay in your lane, because when you do that, like Phelps did, you have a peace of mind, and you're moving faster than if you were, hear me closely, to pay attention to someone else doing what they're supposed to be doing. You allow them to do what they're supposed to do, because what you are designed to do on this earth, only you can do it. Only you can complete the assignment, but you got to stay in your lane. And then finally, one of the other reasons why you are no different than Michael Phelps, the world's most decorated Olympic athlete, is because you have a margin of victory. Yeah, you have a margin of victory that's waiting for you. And it's interesting that race last night was one of the closest races, if not the closest, in the pool all time. In terms of the margin of victory, he won by fingertips. And you ought to be thankful for your fingertips right now, because your margin of victory, regardless of the struggles and the perils that you're going through in life, you know that you cannot argue with destiny, and your destiny is to win. This is what I love about every Olympic athlete who gets a medal, especially the gold medal, is that they hold their hands up to the sky, and here's what's extended beyond them: their fingertips. And that's all you need. That's your margin of victory, 1/100th of a second to win. So right when you think you're losing, right when you think that you're about to hit rock bottom and there's no way that you're going to resurface from the drama that you're going through, I want to let you know that even while it's tough, even while your competitors are gaining on you and spectators are watching, hating on you, you're going to be like Michael Phelps and give them the finger wag, because you're only one fingertip away from your greatest victory. You're only one stretch away from your greatest triumph. And I need you to know that regardless of you ever having a gold medal in your bookshelf, on your bookshelf, or in your credenza, you have a theoretic or metaphorical gold medal around you right now. I don't know how many gold medals Michael Phelps has. Somebody put it in the comment section. I think maybe it's upwards of 20 right now. But what I do know is this: you have a supernatural power in you to accelerate and excel. And when you understand that your makeup is really no different than Michael Phelps, you know that gold medals are all around you. We just can't see them. But you got to know in your heart of hearts that I'm an Olympian, and I too have my hands up in the sky because I'm winning like a champ. All right, everybody, I'm about to watch the USA as they play, I think it's Australia, on tonight. Somebody said 22 gold medals. Oh, that's Teresa Stanko, my homegirl. Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, she knows far more about swimming, I'm sure, than I do. So I hope that I did the swimming jargon well tonight. Thank you, everybody, so much. I'm about to watch USA basketball as they take on Australia. And when you're a winner and you know it in your heart of hearts, nobody can take you down. I'll holler at you later.